Could you give, please, your attention to Themis and sit down so the people behind you can see our wonderful stage and Themis?
Yeah.
Just to the rules, whatever happens here, please stay inside those markings. Don't run out of the camera.
Okay.
Even if I come, woo!
No.
Oh, it works, it works. Always stay inside the markings.
Okay, there's a problem. This is a demonstration and I have to write.
What?
I have to type.
You have to type.
Yes,
oh, that's no problem. That's my job. So, Sebastiano, no, I'll tell you what you have to. Sebastiano has a laptop with a lightning timer. It's not branded by me yet. I'm still in the negotiations. It will count down from 5 to 0. If it's 0, I give a signal, and every one of you applauds. And you stop talking.
Okay.
And enjoy your applause. So I will be holding the microphone, and if I do this, you start the timer. Themis will talk about Transifex.
Okay. Hello, my name is Themis. I work for Transifex, which is basically a web-based localization management platform. And I'll show you how you can translate easily your project into multiple languages and handle the whole process easily. So traditionally, what you could do to communicate with your translators would be to send files with the translatable strings via mail and let them translate it and then send them back with a mail, or let them download it from somewhere and then send them by mail, and this is not working, obviously. So this is a little bit 2000, and I'll show you how we can help you make your life a little easier. Because of time limits, I'll suppose that I visited transifex.com, I created an account for me, and I created a project under my account. Since the project I'm working on is free software, I don't have to pay anything to translate my project, okay? So this is the project, EuroPython. Since I don't like, we software developers don't usually like user interfaces, there is a command line interface for you to move your translatable files from your local computer to our service. So let's initialize it. Oh, sorry. This is it. Since this is a local instance, I'll have to specify it. Sorry. So we're done. We'll have to tell the client which files to upload, and these files get grouped to something that we in Transifex call resources, and this is, as you can see, the resource brochures under the EuroPython. You can have as many resources as you like, and separate your strings. We set the source language, we set the file of the source language, we press enter, and then we just push, this is we push the source files, and as we can see here, we have English. We can create a new language. I'll translate it into Greek, and this, and we will associate the team with that. Let's create Greek. Okay. Each team has a coordinator. I'll put myself for convenience. I'll put no members in it. I'll save it. And now I can translate the resource brochures, which has a translation percentage of 0. Those are strings. This is the official Greek translation for...
Okay. And you think why they have problems.
Okay. So now I can just tx pool, just like in version control, and I have my Greek translations back to my computer. So no matter if you are an independent software developer having a free software, a free project, or you're a company with professional translators, you can come up with something like that, hopefully, with your project translated into many different languages. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Themis. Your applause. Cool. Thank you so much. Turkey, your stage. And maybe do you use also your hands? You can try this microphone. I just avoided to pass it to him to avoid the cabling issues. But now, we already have the screen. That's a good sign. Yeah, that's better than most times. Usually you get a black screen and, oh, now you have a green screen. That's cool. Now wire yourself up. Put this. And you have to put it this way, else it does not work. Yuki will talk about Spotify. Timing is ready. Stage is yours. Yuki, about Spotify.
Great. This is probably some sort of violation of Lightning Talk protocol. I'm just going to pitch our Spotify's Wednesday session. We were supposed to have 2 talks here, 2 unforeseen events. The second one got cancelled, so we replaced that one with open space as an Ask Us Anything on Wednesday in this room, 11:45. You can see it updated on the guidebook app and on the whiteboards outside. Too bad we couldn't make changes for the print today. Yeah, and we have a Google Moderator. You can reach it from bit.ly, Spotify AUYA, and yeah, there will be 5 of us engineers there. Feel free to ask anything related to Spotify, even something not related to it, if you want. I don't know if you can answer everything, but we try our best. And yeah, I still have 4 minutes.
Yeah. You can't stream a song from Spotify in those 4 minutes?
I probably would break some licensing, and then I get like a load of lawyers after me, and I had to run around Florence. And
you just go outside the taped area, and they can't get you.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
Thank you for presenting. No, leave it. Manuel, please come. And Marc-André, are you here? Yes. Could you prepare for your first talk? Be ready. And Lucas, I saw you this dinner. Where is Lucas? Lucas Longa? You're here? Please prepare to talk after Mark. No, Manuel, you have to put the microphone on the right side. Sorry. I wanted to save you all the cabling, but
don't worry, I'm in Spanish. I'm used to Germans helping me.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. Okay, so this is going to be a 5-minute story of how I became a bitter man because of Python. So sorry for you guys. So how did that happen? Did I pass? Oh yeah, so joining Canonical. I'm going to be working in Ubuntu. Not good. I mean, not bad. I don't get like Red Hat or anything like that, but I get lots of conversations about Unity. Porting Ubuntu 1 to Windows, well, it's Python, so it should work, right? It's based on Twisted. Shouldn't be a big problem till you start doing it. And this is the story about, that should be a backslash, about backslash, question mark, backslash, or why I hate Windows paths severely. The problem with Windows is that we have users, and I hate users terribly very much. And it's because they make file names like that one. I want to use a very, very, very long path name because that way I know which file is not that other file. You know what I mean? 2. So they probably had a number 1 already. I was like, why did you do that? Can you just use directories or something? But no, they like it like that. So the problem with Windows is that you have a 260 character limit. So in 2012, really? But you have this, it should be a backslash, but I'm used to Unix, so I put forward slash, sorry. So we have this backslash, question mark, backslash, which comes to rescue, and we get to 32,767 characters, more or less, because sometimes Windows does funny things and expands them, and then you lose 7 characters for some reason. And it's like, okay, that should not be that hard, right? You just have to change every single operation that works with paths and add that little bit in everyone, taking into account I'm a Windows and I'm Linux and so on. So these are some of the methods. Change mode, list directories, remove, make directory, remove directory, a path exists, open, remove tree. You can think any of them. Any of them that have to work with a long path, you have to add this dodgy crap. You add it? Awesome, success. Windows users stop crying. It's going to work. No. Doesn't work. What? Okay, so non-path doesn't work. You have to remove the literal path extension, which is that backslash, question mark, backslash stuff. So you have to add it and remove it, or remove it and add it. and then pass it to the next function that does something with it. OSPath split doesn't work. It just splits in a very funny thing, which is empty, empty, question mark, empty, C colon, blah. And list directory doesn't work, which is awesome, because it works if you do that first expression, but it doesn't work if you use that backslash, backslash, question mark, backslash, C to blah, blah. And the reason for that is that there's a little bug in 2.7 where they append the wrong separator. So on Windows, you can actually put / star, and it will match regular expressions, but you cannot do it with a literal path. So just imagine 60,000 lines of code that just does file operations, hunting all that. Since then, I hate users very, very much. Then we got to WinCom, which is amazing. Windows, the guys from Microsoft, this backslash, backslash, question mark, backslash. Some of their Win API doesn't work with that. And it's not documented, so it's awesome. So that's been like my last 2 years working with Canonical, fighting with users, paths, and mainly Windows. So if you ever do a development in Windows, remember this.
Okay. Thank you very much, Manuel. Thank you very much, Manuel. Thank you very much, Manuel. 1. Marc-Andre Lemberg, you will give us a PyRun talk? Yeah. Lucas, you're ready? I also need Scraper Wiki Lightning talk. There is no person here, no name. You're ready? You're prepared? Ready and scheduled? Mark, you already have? No, but you have an operating system which supports switching on stage to a projector? Cool. Yep. Marc-Andre, oh, you put it on the head. Microphone to the right. Okay. 1, 2.
1, 2, 1, 2.
3, 4.
Works.
Marc-Andre Lemberg about PyRun, a Python runtime in 12 megabytes.
Right, so I'm going to talk about a little project that we did about a month ago. It's actually something that we use in the product and have used for 4 years now in production, so it works really well. It's a complete Python runtime in a very tiny file. So what was the motivation for that? We wanted something simple. We wanted something that would install without any side effects. So basically you just copy the file and you're done. No installers or anything. We wanted a small footprint. It should download very quickly because we want to add it to the product. We wanted full support of Python modules, including extension modules. We wanted distutil setup tools and pip compatibility and eventually a virtual env replacement. And very important for us, we wanted to make it independent of the system Python installation, because we found that even though you have Python installed on most Unix systems nowadays, there are always very little quirks that make life very hard for the user. So we want to avoid that. So what we came up with is we took an old project that we did, MXCGI Python, which ran from 1999 to 2006. And we basically revived that project and turned it into a single file Python runtime. And it has a very small footprint. It's just about 12 megabytes, and you can compress it to 3 or 4 megabytes. And it's open source, and it's Python style open source, so you can use it for commercial stuff, for free stuff, anything. And we've just released the 1.0 version of that today. We have versions precompiled for 2.5, 2.6, 2.7. We don't have 3.x yet. And we currently only do Unix, so we have Linux, FreeBSD, and Mac OS X support. And we're looking into adding Windows support as well. So you can download it from here, our website. And I'm going to give a talk on this tomorrow at 12:15. Oh, sorry, on Wednesday, in the room Hotel, if you want to learn more about it. So how many minutes do I have left?
We have 2.5 minutes left.
Okay, so let me just...
Enough for a demo, or...
Yeah.
Yeah?
Let me just... need to figure out how this Windows stuff works.
You just take double backslash,
Oh,
question mark, backslash.
Right, so this is an installation. This installation has a little bit more than just the binary. The binary is in here, obviously, and need to add the little L there. So you can see it's 12 megabytes. It also includes a debug version, which has some extra debug stuff in it. Then we have the lib library, which uses the standard Python names for things. So we are compatible to stuff. So we have side packages, currently empty. And now let's do some fun stuff. So let's take setup tools, install setup tools. There you go. Let's install pip because it makes things better. So we install pip. And because we've included the, you can see the include, I can't really see it, but it's there. An include directory with all the header files. You don't need that for production, you can just remove that again. But if you want to compile C modules, you have to have that. So if you have that, you can then go ahead and install Python extensions that have C modules in them. This could take a bit because it uses the Wi-Fi. Anyway, you can imagine what's going to happen. It's going to download stuff, it's going to compile stuff, it'll work, I can promise you.
That remembers me of the times with the analog modem, and you only had 30 seconds until you had to leave the house. And
It's
it was
halfway
always
done, so
halfway done, no chance.
no chance, no?
No, it's 23 seconds and it...
Okay, anyway, I mean, you can just download it and just try it yourself, so it, and then report back. That's it, thank you.
Oh,
Oh.
thank you very much. Wow. Thank you, Mark. Lucas, I would like to ask you to come to the stage and wire yourself. Mark, can you explain to Lucas how to connect everything? Yeah, we're optimizing the lightning talks more and more. And I need the SQL Alchemy Tim. Tim, who proposed, you're ready, just prepare yourself for the stage. And Lucas will wire up, he brought his own jobs plug. And we'll have video soon. During that, some story about the PyCon UK. I was so proud to be asked to be there to do the lightning talks, and they had a very nice area, some industrial setting that was refurbished, and I was put into the, or I booked in that hotel in that area, and when I was in that hotel, it was a 2-star, very simple thing. I found they had a coffee machine, and I went into the bathroom and they had no hair dryers. So it's no deeper problem, but usually if you don't have hair dryers, you don't get coffee machines. My theory was, oh, the usual guests are bald-haired guys who drink coffee. But you know me, I ask questions, so I went to the reception and asked them, oh, are your usual guests bald-haired guys who like to drink coffee? And he asked me, why? Oh, because there's no hair dryer in the bathroom. And he told me, no, there were hair dryers, but they were all stolen. So I rented, or I got it for free, a hair dryer, and went back and put it into my bathroom and looked around in the bathroom, and I saw long black hairs. So I learned the usual guests are not bald hair guys who like to drink coffee, but long-haired guys and girls who try to steal hair dryers.
Okay.
Lucas, you're right up?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You regret nothing, even stealing the hairdryer.
even that.
Okay.
Okay, so my name is Lucas, and I regret nothing. So let me show you some bad code. You know the Django drill. You get an object from a database, you change an attribute, you save it. I had a huge model, which actually was a central part of my system, and it was written from multiple data sources, which led to loss of information because multiple plugins were at the same level of trustworthiness or whatever. So they overwritten information over one another. So I've written a custom priority mechanism for saving models, which silently vetoes changes to attributes which already have been set by a most trustworthy source. Of course, the most trustworthy source are humans. I regret nothing. It works. And by the way, did you see that I say 4 characters each time you write models. Yeah, I regret nothing. So multiple inheritance. I wanted to use my prioritization method in other models. So I started using abstract models. One abstract model, second abstract model, and yeah, I ended up with models which don't even have fields. But they do work really well. Yeah, it's a composability method. For instance, the editor trackable lets me track how authors work and yeah, the latest editor, stuff like that. It's really cute. I regret nothing. And by the way, did you see I used a conditional when defining a key into a literal dictionary? Yeah, I regret nothing. But it turns out I couldn't use my priority methods on multiple inheritance, demu MRO. So I monkey patched model save method. So it silently ignores unknown arguments and keyword arguments. Yeah, you know the drill. But let's talk about something else. There's this external system which I have to interface with. It throws me JSON or XML or whatever, very long paths. And you know, there are a couple of methods to actually do that properly, which are fugly. So I implemented the null object pattern for Python. So null returns null for every attribute, key, index, method, you name it. And it works really well. You know the drill. I regret nothing. Boy, do I love locals. You know, this is a Django view, the traditional one, not the fancy class-based one, but the function-based one. It always bugged me that, you know, you have to actually specify something that you do, and later on copy the same thing into the render to response method, you know, the second dictionary. So I use locals to not do that. I implemented a decorator which lets me just return locals, and everything is done. I don't even have to, you know, specify which template is used, because it knows it's in locals. And the request, yeah, you know the drill. It works. So this is the way Django developers want you to define choices. I find it fugly and violating dry. So I wrote my own class-based choices. But I didn't like this one, you know, the choice and those underscores and stuff. It doesn't really work for me. So I used the class context to actually change the meaning of underscore inside the class. And it works. You know the drill. I regret nothing. But it gets better when you actually use methods which are dependent on the value of a choice. Then you see that, yeah, we'd better have maybe switch statements in Python. It starts getting ugly. So I changed this big greet method into a one-liner. And I could do that because I overloaded the left shift operator to inject attributes to choices. You know the drill. I regret nothing. And I can do this all day. Did you ever define conditional methods, you know, based on import time configuration? I did. Did you ever inject context by exec file into your settings PI? I did. Because I regret nothing. You can't judge me. Woo.
Thank you so much, Lucas. You know, there is a saying you should always code like the maintenance programmer reading your code will be a serial killer. I guess you have some connections to SpaceX and will evade to Pluto, which is not a planet anymore or something?
You know, some time ago somebody broke into my house and stole my stuff. I think they are maintainers of my code.
Oh, they know what will happen. Cool. Thank you so much. Would you please, the guy from the Scraper Wiki who did not give me his name. Who are you? Tim. You're the SQL Alchemy guy. Not yet? Scraper. Julian from Scraper Wiki. Yes, no. And one tip for the following days. If you put your name on the Lightning Talks list, it's much easier for me to call you by your name. which sounds better than, could the Scraper Wiki guy please come to the stage? So, wow, you already? No, the microphone is down there. There, on the right side. Of your, yes, yes, over the ears. Okay, Julian from Scraper Wiki. No? There's a mute button and you can unmute it.
Hello? No?
No? Oh, the second mobile thing that goes broken.
Oh, good. Okay now? No?
No?
No.
So take the this
okay.
one.
There we go.
Oops.
Boop. Yeah, okay.
Cool.
Right, hello?
Okay.
Okay.
Julian.
Yeah, okay, this isn't going to be so fun. Right, we're just here from Scraper Wiki to learn a little bit about how you guys would prefer to do your programming. So, I'll just move that out of the way. Right, so, now it's not working. There we go. Okay, so how would I do it, which is some web scraping using Scraper Wiki, which is a tool for analyzing data online and making collaborations. So normally I work at open data places and journalists and people like that who are more interested in data than just the coding. So let's have a little look at some of the data that I've been going after. And I found somewhere in the UK a web page for every single oil well in the North Sea whenever they drill it. And there's the page that comes out over there and a little map showing it. And there's about 10,000 of these which require web scraping. So for that job, I would normally go to Scraper Wiki. Here's the front page. And the way we do web scraping in Scraper Wiki is we just write code. There are a lot of tools that do web scraping, which are like GUI, where you point and click and so forth. And they always break down when you actually start having real problems. And in this case, it's like just making a blog post. You just write some code straight in the browser and run it, and you can sort out all your problems when your oil wells are in feet or meters, and with a little bit of code to clean it up and convert them. And once you've got all the data into your database, you can do something boring like one of these mashups, which were really cool about 2 years ago and aren't so cool now. Funny that.
1986.
Yeah, that's just everyone in 1986. I have one for every year. If you put them all on as 10,000, it breaks the web page. You can animate them, and you can see them going out further and further from the shore as they're getting deeper and deeper. Anyway, so what I did after this was I made a little tweet bot. So every time a new one gets drilled, we get a little tweeter on Twitter message. Comes up straight out of Scraper Wiki, and you see it's in English language because we have a little bit of Python code that helps convert it to English language from funny quadrant numbers to the west coast of Scotland or north of Shetland, because we've looked on the map and you can write lots of code that makes it more and more Englishy if you desire. Okay, so now, whoops. Now it's your turn. So that's how I do lots of web scraping and many different projects like this. And we found, if you'll see a poster out in the tent, you'll see we have a challenge for you guys. I have a question I don't know the answer to. Which country has destroyed the most fishing boats over the last 10 years? And the way you would look at it is, I discovered this a few weeks ago, a little register of every single fishing boat ever made in Europe for the last 15 years. And normally the job would be you'd have to web scrape from this front page, and if you go through a bit, you can find an example of a boat that was destroyed, which used to be in Venice, built in 1973, and the trick would be to go through all the pages and download them and put it into a database and then count and find out which one's destroyed the most. So that's the challenge, and we're here to find out how you guys would do it if you don't use Scraper Wiki, because it might be just too easy writing code in a browser. You want to use your Emacs, you want to use your proper cron jobs and all that stuff, and tell us how you do it. And that's me.
Thank you very much. Woo. Just put it down. Mark, are you still present? You have another talk scheduled. Mark, André? Yeah, you're still here. Nope, Tim from SQL Alchemy, could you please wire yourself up while I repair the schedule? Just welcome. No. I just need you to be present. Tim, welcome. So, you have no own job plug. Who can lend his job plug to Tim? Udi, thank you. Now we have a job log. Is it the correct one? Yeah, I learned there are a lot of different job logs. And we have screen in blue, in white, and Tim. And I have your microphone. You need more time, or?
Yes, I need one.
You need one more?
1 second.
1 second. I did lightning talks in Amsterdam. I tried to get to the airport. The train got lost. Which was funny, because during the day, I was browsing the interwebs, and there was some news about Google doing Street View on railways, and I thought, who does need that? Now I learned it. Tim, are you ready? I have no 1 second joke left.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're ready. Cool. Tim, about SQL Alchemy and testing.
Start. Hello, my name is Tim, and I want to tell you about some problems we were faced when we need to test code, and that code used SQL Alchemy to represent domain models. So tests must be isolated. It's obvious, and every test has 4 phases. It must set initial state, run actual code that we are testing, validate state or behavior, and then clean. But developers of libraries hide from us all complexity that there is. For instance, initial state can be database, memcache, Redis, or whatever. My talk is about database. So let's begin. Initial state, there are a lot of libraries. We were using Fixture, and that was additional layer over object relational mapper. That was additional problems. Then we decided to use our models as to describe initial state. Just need to figure out how to be dry. So we used Python. Oh, you didn't see. That's self.fowler. Okay. If you, I want to point to you that they are using methods as properties. Okay. This is a sample of data that represents imaginary bookshop data. So we can use that to be dry. Yes, we use inheritance. The main secret of this code is that we have meta class that wraps all public methods and some in descriptor something like cached property. Okay, so then every book have the same author. So fowler is the same object. That's how we did it. So the next challenge was cleaning after the test was passed or failed. There are 2 ways that today frameworks library works. The most reliable way is to recreate database schema before every test. It is very slow. The other opportunity is to make transparent transaction which wraps the test we are running. And there are stubs for comment and rollbacks. Okay, so at the end of test we call normal rollback, and that is hack, but it fast. Okay, let's think about this one more time. What we need to clean state, what we have. Before test we have empty database. When we are setting initial state, we create records. So during tests, code create, delete, and update existing records. And after all, we have to delete existing records. So we just need to check what was created. It's obvious. And we get an implementation that uses SQL Alchemy session, and we implement it with context manager. So everything inside will be, when we go out context manager, everything is cleaned. It works fast. No need to create schema, only when schema is changing. And last, we implemented some sort of DB history to be sure that our states and behavior of code is valid. That's all. As you can see, it's just context manager. Everything we implemented was so SQL Alchemy helped us very much because it implements a unit of work and identity maps. And our library has about 2,000 lines of code. Thank you.
Woo. Thank you very much, Tim. Please transfer microphone and stage to Marc-André. Then I need Paolo Bernardi, about open taste. That sounds like food. So if you pass the samples to the lightning talk man, so I can prepare myself for your talk. Okay, Mark is already ready. That did not, you think it works, Lorenzo? Yeah, we have checked it.
Hello, hello.
Cool. Okay. Mark will talk about the Psf Members Meeting at the EuroPython in Florence, Italy. Here.
Right, as you all know, the PSF has a booth here for the first time at the conference, and we're also having a Psf Members Meeting here. And I would like to invite all of you to that meeting in case you want to have a look at how we work. The meeting is tomorrow at 6:30. Unfortunately, it's in the same slot as a keynote because the keynote got assigned to that slot after we scheduled that meeting, so sorry about that. You're still all invited, and because I know that not all of you are going to come, so we have a small room there, it's just 50 seats there. I would still like to see some of you at that meeting. It would be great to have some of you there. The room is Pizza Napoli, which is on the first floor. And then you can see how we work, ask questions, and you can also become a member. If you don't want to see that, if you don't want to come to the meeting, you can, and then you want to see the keynote, just come to the booth and then just talk to us there and talk to us about your ideas. For example, if you have ideas for things that we could sponsor or ideas of how we could better approach you, because we want to reach out to the community and we want to help the community because that's the main purpose of the PSF. Then I have a second announcement, which is a new membership form that we've added to the PSF. Up until now, you could only enter the PSF by being nominated into the PSF and then voted in, and now we have the associate membership, which doesn't need all this. So you just pay a yearly fee for that. The PSF will then use that fee to sponsor projects and sprints and conferences. And our goal is a bit ambitious. We would like to have 200 new sign-ups for that associate membership at the conference. So if you're interested, please come to the PSF booth. We have some nice stickers for you there, and you can get those and you can sign up right at the booth for that membership. Otherwise, you can just visit that URL, psfmember.org, and then sign up there. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mark. Now, one great source of income of the PSF is usually the massaging of Dr. Rob Collins, and he will also give a talk about it, and I need him here on the stage. Rob? Ah, you're ready. Would you prepare?
Almost ready.
Yeah, you, Paolo. I'm talking about Rob, who is preparing himself to be ready. Paolo?
Yes.
Food samples are distributed. Open taste, Paolo Bernardi. No.
Yes, do you have a joke?
you need more?
Just a second.
You're still working, yeah.
and
We are seeing the star fields. That looks not really tasty.
Nice galaxy, isn't it?
That looks like astronaut food.
Yeah,
Those
well, I wouldn't recommend that one. Mostly they eat stuff that you put in the water. It becomes, well, nutrient, but not really tasty.
Yeah, so it's not really open taste. It's
Absolutely. Well, it's open space, but not open taste. Not open.
Open space and open taste is totally different.
Absolutely. And, well, mind that.
How did you find the taste of the lunch today? I found it great. Could everybody who found it great also applaud, please? Woo! And I really liked how they navigated us into the lunchroom so that there are not big clouds standing at the entrance, but send us up there, grab your food up there. So we were distributed quite evenly, like the arrangement of the screens on here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something on the left monitor, something on the right monitor.
And all there.
Yeah, cool.
Well,
Paolo.
Thank you. Well, so sorry for the delay, and hello everyone. I spent these 5 minutes, apart from setting up the screen, talking about OpenTaste. I hope you're hungry, because OpenTaste is a website about food. So, let's say you open your fridge, you look at it, find some pecorino cheese, something like that. So you just go to OpenTaste, type it, there you go. And let's see, what can you do with pecorino cheese? Fried pecorino cheese. Yummy. Cheese bread, that's tasty as well. Oh, but you don't really want to lose tortal testo. That's really something I recommend you. Let's see about it. Okay, flour, extra virgin olive oil, pecorino cheese of course, yeast, water, salt. Well, if you have all that, or if you can gather all that, you can prepare tortal testo, which is quite easy. It's 3 paragraphs, but it's really easy. It's a sort of bread, pizza-shaped, that you can stuff with a lot of things, like ham, and really, really, really tasty. Well, okay, let's focus a bit. Why am I talking about this at EuroPython? First of all, even Python developers must eat. So, probably most of you can also cook. So, finding and sharing recipes on OpenTaste might be of interest. Of course, anyway, the main reason is that OpenTaste is Python-based, heavily Python-based. The backend is made from Flask, a web application micro-framework, which you will surely hear more about during the EuroPython. The keyword here is micro. Flask gives you, glues together actually some sort of templating engine, a routing engine, a few helpers function, and well, that's about it. There are a lot of helper functions, but that's about it. Quite lightweight and very flexible. You can pretty much structure your projects as you want, which is both good and bad, but surely fun. About the data, OpenTaste data goes into MongoDB, which, well, 10gen is actually a sponsor here, so you'll hear a lot about that. You have heard already about it. Well, MongoDB, probably most of you already know it, but as a document-based data model, which is very, very flexible. You create a collection of documents as fields, named fields, which can have lists or other fields. It maps pretty nicely to Python native data types, and it's very flexible. It was really of great help during OpenTaste history. In fact, OpenTaste actually started about 2 years ago, but it stopped very suddenly for some reasons. And it started back a few weeks ago with new people, me too. Whole but team were new people actually. And we took a look at the whole database and we found strange stuff. But anyway, thanks to MongoDB data model, it was really easy to fix it up. Just a few Python scripts went through the data and shaped it as we wished and brought it back. no strange alter table or other stuff involved. And last stuff about Python and OpenTaste. Let's talk about deploying operations. OpenTaste has several environments. A production environment, the one that you are seeing right now, a development environment, and several localhost environments, one for each developer computer. The data between all these environments is synchronized. Data includes source code, database date, and static files, images, JavaScript, etc. JavaScript is actually source code. And synchronization of all this data among all these environments is handled via Fabric and Git. And guess what? Both of them are also very flexible tools, which will let you shoot in your foot, but also let you do great stuff. Well, let me sum up. I see the time is running. Python is cool, MongoDB is cool, Flask is cool, and Fabric is cool. And if you feel hungry, just take a look at OpenTaste. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And I assume you're working on a RepRap interface, so I can just plug in my RepRap and get out the food.
Well, that's development, but when about Python will get multi-line lambdas?
Okay.
No, I hope sooner.
You hope sooner? Okay. Rob, would you please prepare? And I need Josep Virgil. Josep? Oopsa, I heard a yes, and he is present. Cool. Rob Collins, massaging numbers is good for you, but not for the projector. You keep your fight. You won. Okay. If you put the microphone on the right side.
The right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know you're from the UK, you drive always on the left side. Okay.
Ah!
Okay, Dr. Rob Collins, massaging numbers is good for you.
Benvenuti a Firenze. Fa piuttosto caldi qui. Taman Rasset è una città nel deserto del Sahara. La temperatura è più o meno la stessa. Addirittura il mio gelato si sta squagliando molto rapidamente.
This is a really good ice cream.
Anyway, it's very hot and I'm glad to be here. And tomorrow we will be learning about how to do some massage. We've got a bit of a longer session at 17:15 in Spaghetti. And we're going to, first of all, look at massaging numbers in finance. Now, somebody who knows about massaging numbers in finance is this man, Bob Diamond, and we can look at what sort of skills we need within Python to be able to massage numbers in the way that a hedge fund needs. So we'll spend a little time on massaging numbers. Then we're going to look at massaging letters. We're going to look at how anagrams will help you refactor legacy code that you may have to deal with. This is an important feature of Python, that we can massage numbers and we can massage letters. Of course, we will also look at massaging necks and shoulders, because the objective of tomorrow's training is to find some people to help on Wednesday night for the meal, to help me do massaging, where we come around collecting money in aid of the Python Software Foundation that keeps your intellectual property safe. Bring some money and be prepared to donate in order to have a massage or in order not to have a massage. It was great to have a team of people last year, because it meant that everybody got a chance to have or not have one, so do come along if you feel like massaging, being massaged, or just carrying a bucket. The main point, fundraising for the Python Software Foundation. Now, Python Software Foundation, what are the reasons that people may give money to the Python Software Foundation? Well, anagrams have the answer. First of all, a fear of losing your possessions. Typhoon awaits fond fortune. Some people give money to the Python Software Foundation just so they don't have to worry about it. Second, pride. A noteworthy donation puffs. Some people, you've got a listing on the web page, you give money in order to be there, and you may want to give money for pride reasons. Alternatively, a better reason is just to be there for posterity, a fan of handout one posterity. And lastly, probably the best anagram for doing donations to the Python Software Foundation is with fun of a noonday protest against other programming languages. So, hope you will be there tomorrow, massage training 17:15. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. Woo. Okay, our next speaker will be Josip Virgil about Reddit. And then I need Thomas Hansen. Thomas Hansen, can you make yourself visible? Thomas Hansen? Ah, cool. Will it be a short break or a long break? Will I tell a boring joke or an even boringer joke? Boringer joke is a German word, it's more boring. Okay, that's the NASA mission control of Python, one big user of Python software. And this is a talk of Josep. He's moving out. Cool. Put it on the right side.
Yeah, okay.
Josep Virgil about Reddit.
All right, well, thank you very much. My name is Josep, and I've been doing an open source project called Reddit that it's basically a web-based platform to teach science, math, and engineering to college students. So instead of the students having to write their equations in paper, pick their hand calculator and crunch the numbers and get the results, they can do it online. They can, they can come here, run their Python code, so it's kind of technical computing, and they can have their answers. So I'll give you a little bit demo of the platform that we have now. Okay, it's moving really well. So at the left-hand side, we have an editor, so you can punch your code there, and I'm going to have a simple one. So it's basically the trajectory of a cannon. You define gravity, the angle, velocity, blah, blah, blah. And then you can print your results. So here we have the range. And also you can produce nice plots like we have here, the trajectory of the cannon. Oh, I'm losing. Okay. But you can do more complex stuff. For example, symbolic math. You have the expansion. So it's basically unleashing the power of SciPy and NumPy and all this. And you also can do more fun stuff. So like simulating a zombie outbreak and seeing how people would die and seeing the death rates. And if we would survive or not. And look at it, in 5 days, we're all gone.
Really fun stuff.
Yeah. Or what's other things like fitting data. So you can see that the plots are just good quality. So it's using Matplotlib to do that. And it's very simple. I want to change the number of points. So I put more points, and then I click run. It calculates it, yeah. And here we have it. So it works just smoothly, so students don't have to download anything. Just go there, it's there. Also, we want to have the professor pushing examples and exercises, and then the students doing them and bring them back. So we put sharing capabilities, so you can share. Now it's only with the email, but we will create groups in the future. Also, one thing that I'm very excited about is you do a cool stuff and you want to share it with people. So you can share. You can I don't know, put a name, test, Python, whatever, and put a short description. This is a test, and you can publish it. And then here, sorry for the presentation, it's very basic. So it's a repository of the things. Then you have this your one. It has 0 downloads, and this is the description. But you can see other people have thought about what about the cannon but on the moon. So you can download it and can see what happens, and basically we're just replacing for a sixth of the gravity that is on the moon, and you can see that the range is much bigger. But effectively what it gives is the ability to do something and share it with the rest of the world, so you can connect with another student, for example, in the US, and see what they are doing and what they are learning, and then get that code from them and see, oh, that's very great. And I think it's the connection between technical computing in a classroom and the social part that we're doing. It's at a very early stage at this moment, as you can see from the appearance of everything. It can have some bugs. It's open source, and it's already there. You can go at redteddy.org or .com, and you can test it. We have some security issues, so don't try it too hard. It will break. And we will be glad to have some comments, feedback, and people, or really great people, to join and take this thing to the universities. So thank you very much.
Very good, very good. Joseph, thank you so much. If you ever pitch it to venture capitalists, say it's like Facebook but for Python scripts.
Yeah.
So, Uli is here for the Python brochure, PSF. And then I have a talk, PsychoPG plus PyPy plus C-types. And we have got a lot of people who would be able to do it, but I've seen him. Okay, Kiwi. Last year it was something about presentation and monitors. Ah, you've got a blue screen. You've got a microphone. You have a code example.
Sweet. Okay. So
Thomas Hansen about Kiwi.
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 So we just wanted to show you what Kiwi is in case you hadn't heard of it. So Kiwi is a Python user interface framework that we've been working on. Sort of most of the graphical user interface programs or frameworks that are out there for Python and most other languages too are based on the WIMP paradigm, which stands for Windows, Icons, Menus, Pointers. And it's sort of this thing that we've been using for a long time with mice and keyboard, which works fine for a lot of stuff, but a lot of the newer stuff sort of goes beyond that, right? So nowadays when people talk about user interfaces, oftentimes they talk about multi-touch or mobile or tablet computers. There's this NUI, it's either novel or natural user interfaces based on who you ask. And so this whole post-PC era that people talk about just brings a whole lot of new possibilities for user interfaces, given sort of what GPUs can do today and all these different sensors, like we heard this morning about brain-computer interfaces and all that. And so Kiwi is sort of a framework aimed at making development of user interfaces for that as easy and fast as possible using Python. So I was just going to show some examples from the gallery real quick. This is the website. It doesn't look very good on this resolution. Just turn it down a little bit. Of course, now the internet doesn't work. Oh, well, here's some screenshots that at least you can see, right? So there's just a quick touch tracer application. We just had a game contest in February, so there's a whole bunch of games if you're interested in making games for looking at examples. Here's someone made a memory game. Someone actually hooked this up to a large machine that plays, I think it's checkers with them, and you control it with a touchscreen next to it. We've actually been using it commercially at my company in the US, and Mathieu has been too. We've made like digital menus for restaurants. Mathieu made this awesome installation at a museum where you actually have a large sort of table that has a projection on it, and then 4 separate Zoom Android tablets where the applications run and everyone is working on a puzzle. Lots of people doing stuff with music. I have some videos I can show if I still have battery at the end, but I just have a couple of slides I wanted to go through. So Kiwi is cross-platform. We've always had it run on Linux, Windows, and OS X, and at this point now we have it running stably, as with all the other ones with the last couple of releases, on Android and on iOS. So when Guido said someone was going to make it work, I guess I just want to say we have, and we have applications both in the Apple iStore and Android Google Play Market that are commercial and free applications, so we know they accept it. And they've been going really good for that. So it's open source, it's LGPL. Anyone is encouraged to contribute and everything. So all rendering is done on the GPU. We're using OpenGL ES. That's one of the reasons actually we can go and target different platforms. And then we have sort of a layer on top that makes it a little bit easier, giving you some graphics instructions that you can use, and they actually sort of get optimized into vertex array and all that stuff, if you know OpenGL. So if you want to check it out, go to kiwi.org. The documentation is at kiwi.org.docs. If you search on Google Play for Kiwi, it comes up with a bunch of the example applications. And so we have a poster outside if you want to ask us questions. Mathieu, you should stand up so people know also. You can ask Mathieu. He also is giving a talk on Friday titled OpenGL and Python on Android. And I think it says on embedded systems or something on the schedule. Talking about our experiences that we've had sort of making the OpenGL work on all the platforms. And then this weekend we registered for a sprint if you're interested. We're going to be working on some, adding some more features for actually mixing 3D and 2D content. But we're also interested in improving our documentation and maybe writing another tutorial. So if someone wants to learn, it would be great if someone was there and we could sort of see how that works. So that's all I got. I don't know.
Thank you very much, Thomas. Kiwi, now we know what it is. Our next, please wait, Uli will be our next speaker. And with Uli, I went to dinner last night, and in the restaurant they told us they don't have artichoke. And now I have a speaker who's talking about artichokes. Artichoke, you are present? Cool. So we have 3 more speakers left. Uli has his own job luck. So I was thinking about an idea at a different date than EuroPython, PyCon US, PyCon Germany, PyCon UK, to have a lightning conf. A lightning conf would be, I guess, me. Oh, that's the bad news. But the good news, it would be 2 days of lightning talks. And just, can I have a show of hands, who would expose himself to 2 days of lightning talks? Okay, the market is not really ripe for this idea. 1 day of lightning talks. Okay, the tolerance is going up. Maybe I start with half a day of lightning talks. Uli, you talk about the Psf Python software brochure.
Yes, okay, hello. Last year on EuroPython, Marc-Andre announced the Python image brochure of the Psf to improve marketing. And today I can announce it's ready. Woo! Ready to print. Okay, it's only ready to print. There's amazing stuff inside. You can come up to our Psf booth downstairs and have a look at the brochure. It's very amazing stuff inside. And there are still some slots for advertising free. So you can book an advertisement, half page or full page advertising. You can book it, or you can book a reference entry on the last page. It looks like this, and you can come up to our Psf booth and look how it will go. So if you are interested in ordering advertising, you can go to our website. It's brochure.getpython.info, and there you go to sponsorship options, and there you will see the ad sponsorship. It's half a page for 2,650 euros, and the reference sponsors is for 500 euros. So, and you can also order additional copies of the brochure. We will print 10,000 copies, and if you want to distribute 500 copies to your customers or 1,000 copies inside your local community, you can order them, and they will cost depending where you are living. So if you are living in New Zealand, okay, sorry. And the last opportunity for sponsorship is an education sponsorship. If you want to distribute the brochure to a university in your town or in your country, you can order copies for distribution in a university. So I invite you to the PSF booth to have a look. We have 10 copies. They are mock-ups. It's not the real printing. And yes, all information are on our website. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Uli. Now I have to grab a look because it's Daniel. No, I know him so long. He's the one who really grabbed. You don't have something. You just talk. Oh, that's cool. So you can start. Just grab the microphone.
Okay, good.
There it is. Put it on your head.
Okay.
The other way around.
Hello.
Okay.
Okay.
Daniel, about PsychoPG and PyPy.
So I'm Daniele Varrazzo, known as Spiro somewhere, and I am one of the PsychoPG current maintainer. Anybody of you use PsychoPG here? So a few of you. Anybody of you using Python and Postgres not using PsychoPG? So none at all. We have monopoly. That's good. Okay. PsychoPG is the module that allows Python and Postgres to talk each other to exchange data, and it's by design is a libpq wrapper, which is the library that Postgres offers as a client library, and you basically do a driver two ways: either you are a libpq wrapper or you parse its protocol on the network. By design, PsychoPG is a libpq wrapper. And by implementation is a C module. So it's written in C, largely in C. There are parts in Python, but the core is a wrapper as a classic old-fashioned C extension. Now this thing has created some problem as Python is evolving. And so there is PyPy who tries to do something different and doesn't work very well with C extension. So let me find a couple. Oh, okay. So first attempt, there's been Alex Gaynor, who rewrote just a subset of PsychoPG for just enough to make Django work with PyPy. That was good enough. Then there's been somebody else who was Michael von Tellingen, who has extended this thing and has ported PsychoPG to use C types to wrap this libpq wrapper and to run on Python 2. So I seen this attempt. I took a look at it. So I tried to make the PsychoPG test suite run on that, and it wasn't running entirely. So we hacked together, me and Michael, and we bring PsychoPG to run the entire test suite. So let's say now it's a correct PsychoPG, just written in pure Python, but with C types wrapper. So using still libpq for efficiency reason, and because that's its design, we don't parse the line protocol. So what's the point now? As soon as people start using it, there's been some problem. So now we have a few mysterious problems. A few ones are in PyPy and in garbage collection. So we've been filed a few bugs, and we don't know what is happening. I've been working with Python 3 porting. Actually, the original PsychoPG is already Python 3 compatible, but this pure Python isn't yet. That's weird, but C is more flexible than Python. So we have abused the preprocessor, and with that we have a complete compatibility. We don't have it yet on Python 3. So at this point there is this almost complete status in which the module is okay, but we need somebody who takes charge of PyPy integration. And I think once we have that, we could have a pure Python PsychoPG. We could also end up dropping the original one, the original C. Looks like is giving problem to somebody. Is there anybody OS X user who has problem compiling PsychoPG? Yeah, there is somebody. So regularly OS X users complain that this is hard. It looks like target is moving one every time a new cat is released. There is some breakage in compiling C extension. So it may be the time that as a C extension, Psychopg has done its time. It can become pure Python. Just we need some help. So I don't have anything to show. So just please Google Psychopg C types. You're gonna find a GitHub project. So if you want to give us a hand, if you are good at PyPy, you just want to try, you're very welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Daniel. And give him a big hand. Now the creator, the presenter of the Artichoke framework. Ah, he moved. Cool. Come, take your stage. And I need a big hand for Sebastiano. He took over the timing, starting and stopping it. Please give him a big hand. He did a great job. Thank you very much. Your name is?
Furia.
Furia. And you're talking about the Artichoke framework. Is it a web framework? A web framework.
Yeah, micro framework.
A web micro framework. You got the microphone? Yeah, but we don't see anything. It's a very small microphone.
Yeah,
it's a very small micro framework.
One-liner.
A one-liner?
Yeah.
That's small, even for a micro framework. Okay?
Hey.
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
I know.
That would be fine if you would have radio transmission. This will be also the last lightning talk for today. After this, we have today the performance cocktail by invitation only. And the invitation you find within your badges.
Okay.
So those who got an invite can talk about performance. The others will think about the lightning talks they will give. Then we have the Pi beer at 9 o'clock. Is it correct?
Yep.
Yes. Where is the Pi beer? Lorenzo, don't walk away. Where's the Pi beer? At the James Joyce Pub. James Joyce Pub. And now, before we go to the James Joyce Pub, start with the micro framework Artichoke.
Yeah, okay. Here we are. Artichoke, a micro framework we developed in our company, Axon. It's just, yet another micro framework, just one file. That's no requirements except, well, actually WebApp, but we need that. Python 3 ready already, and really close to the TurboGears 2 syntax and routing stuff. And the documentation you will find in our read the docs, Artichoke RTDF.org. Let's see how it works. It's just pretty easy. Okay, if you go through the source, we have just one file. It's the AppPy. One import. It's just Artichoke. You define a controller, an index root, and you expose your template. You go mount your application and serve it. Okay. The applications are in a templating format. If you want to use it, it's a chalk one, or just plain HTML, or mount whatever, Janshi or other stuff. Let's go through the documentation. We have also advanced topics, like if you want to have different middlewares, it's easy to mount them. So for instance, if you need like SQL Alchemy, you will have easily your DB session and doing whatever you want, your preferred ORM. You have also form builders. Okay, they are much more expired by TurboGears. And nothing. Oh, yeah, you have authentication for free. Some kind of web helpers like flashes. Not these ones. Normal helpers like for flashing and show messages and so on. And that's pretty much it is. Thank you very much, and we are seeking for contributors, and we love micro frameworks. That's it.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much to all the speakers of the lightning talks. Next session, as already announced, will be the performance cocktail by invitation only, and the session after the next session is Pi Beer. See you all there.